We welcome you to the West Coast Conference this week. We are presented by Geico, and we come to you today from Malibu, California, on the campus of Pepperdine University. Let's take a look at the brackets in the West Coast Conference as we head into tournament competition this coming week. So Gonzaga will play the 8-9 winner, Santa Clara and USF in the 4-5 game. That could change slightly, but the matchup should be the same. St. Mary's will play the 7-10 winner, and then it's BYU and LMU, the 3-6 game. And hello again, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins. Once more, my partner, Casey Jacobson. And Casey, it's Oscar weekend.
Yep.
And we thought we'd do our own Oscar awards, as they have to do with the West Coast Conference. So let's start with the most coveted award, of course, and that is Best Actor. Who are you giving it to?
Oh, we got to go with Nigel Williams-Goss, the point guard, the transfer from Washington for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. He's been the best player on the best team in the country. They're number one in the nation. But to me, Barry, it's more than that. He's averaging 16 points a game, but he's efficient from the field. 52%, 6 rebounds, 5 assists too, and he plays the most important position. Yes, they have Shemek Karnowski, but he is a great inside-out combination. He leads them.
Did Jock Landale get a nomination at least?
Slightly, but still, Nigel, he's the man.
All right, also ran. So let's talk about Best Supporting Actor then. This is not necessarily the guy who started up, but this is a guy who was supporting. Who you got?
My personal favorite category, because these guys don't get a lot of love, but Calvin Hermanson at St. Mary's. Look, they have so many Aussies, but Calvin Hermanson is a knockdown shooter. Jock Landale, he's their best guy inside, but Calvin is the perfect complement to Landale. He's averaging 13 points a game, 49% overall, 43% from deep. He's, to me, a huge reason why the Gales are still in the top 25 in the country, Barry.
All right, let's talk about Best Director. Who's the best coach that you see? And I'll tell you what, this was tough. You could point at a lot of guys.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Smith at USF is good. Mark Few, of course, they're undefeated, so he's good. But I'm actually giving my Best Director, Best Coach of the Year to Randy Bennett at St. Mary's. And, this team, they don't have a lot of NBA prospects like the Gonzaga Bulldogs do, but they're shooting 57% from two, which is 7th in the country, and they can play defense too, Barry. They only allow 56 a game, which is really remarkable because they don't have a ton of athletes that blow you away. A lot of that credit goes to Randy Bennett and his coaching staff at St. Mary's.
All right, let's stretch it out a little bit now. Let's not talk about just this year. Let's talk about the past 4 years, the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, this is awesome, and we're going down to Santa Clara. Jared Brownridge, he's been fantastic in his 4 years. Not only is he an excellent player, Barry, but he's an even better person once you get to know him. Jared has never averaged less than 15 points per game in any of his 4 years, so he's been remarkably consistent. He's the 11th player in WCC history to break the 2,000-point barrier, which is pretty remarkable. So congratulations to Jared Brownridge. We've had a pleasure covering you over your career.
Yeah, this guy may win a real Oscar one of these days.
Maybe.
All right, finally, let's talk about Best Picture, the game itself. Which was the best?
Well, there was a lot, but the biggest matchup of the year was St. Mary's and Gonzaga. It always is, right? But this was at Moraga, ESPN. They took their game day crew down there. It was rocking early in the morning too, and everybody in the country was basically watching this game. And Gonzaga just got off to a really nice start. They went down to Shemek Karnowski, then Nigel Williams-Goss did his thing. And look, it was a close game, close, like 10 points. That's the closest game that Gonzaga has had all WCC regular season, Barry.
Yeah, it just speaks to Gonzaga. I mean, this is not about what St. Mary's didn't do, all about, as the season has been all about, what Gonzaga does. They are number one in America. They are undefeated. That's the way they're going to head into both the West Coast Conference tournament and maybe the national tournament as well. So it was a big weekend up in St. Mary's, the weekend of February 11th, and obviously it's a big weekend here too. They're dancing in the studio when we come back to the West Coast Conference this week, presented by Geico. All those guys are going to be there, but see the guy in the coat and tie, he'll still be dancing. That's Geeter. Don't go away. We're coming back.
Welcome back to WCC This Week here in Los Angeles. I'm Chris McGee. Before we get to our conference games today, let's go straight to the highlights and get you caught up with all the WCC action from earlier this week. What better way to start than with the team holding steady at number 1 in the country, Gonzaga at San Diego. Gonzaga, one of just 6 teams in the last 40 years to start the season. 28-0. Of course they're dancing. Early on, Zag's rolling. Jonathan Williams drives. Gets the foul call, hits the jumper. Williams finished with a double-double, 10 and 13 in the first half. Then Josh Perkins got hot. Nice inside-out basketball. Shemek Karnowski kicks it out. Perkins for the 3. Gonzaga finished the game shooting 66% from the field. Late in the half, great quick ball movement from the Zags as Perkins, another 3-ball in the corner. He finished with 5 3-balls on the night. Gonzaga wins easily, 96-38. St. Mary's at Pepperdine. A power outage caused delays in this one as St. Mary's looked for their 5th straight road win. Early in the second half, Pepperdine down 19. Jeremy Major, he's going to miss the floater. Grab the offensive rebound. Lay it in. Pepperdine down 17, trying to keep pace. But St. Mary's always had an answer. Calvin Hermanson finds Jock Landale down low for the dunk plus the foul. After they made free throw, the Gales up 20. They're doing it on defense, too. Good Joey Rahan. Steele going the other way for the layup. Gales up 21. St. Mary's up big. Evan Fitzner drives, dishes. Landale, the dunk. He had a game-high 23 points and 14 boards. Gales win 78-49. The 10-6 BYU Cougars taking on a Portland team that has lost 14 straight conference games. Eric Mika, Terry Porter, coach in Portland. First half, Elijah Bryant off to a good start for BYU, knocking down a 3 at the top of the arc. 12-point BYU lead early. Bryant having the best game of his BYU career. Go ahead and attack the rim. Use the Euro step if you can. Get into the lane for the nice finish. 20 points in the first half for Bryant. Second half, Portland down 20. Mika reads the pass for the steal. He's going streaking for the dunk. He finished with 19 points and 8 boards. Bryant continued his hot play in the second half. Gets the handoff in the corner. Career night, 39 points and 6 assists. BYU, 97-78. San Francisco versus LMU. LMU looking to split the season series on their senior night. Under a minute left in the first half. Ball's tipped out. Rotino, bounce pass finds Ronnie Boyce for the layup. USF leads 27-22 at the half. LMU out to a strong start the second half. Stephen Haney converts the layup, gets the foul. Haney, he's all tied up at 39. They're going nuts. 20 seconds left after LMU split a pair of free throws. Rotino nails the 3-pointer. The freshman finished with 13 points. Lead cut to 1, 52-51. Under 10 seconds left. USF down 2. Rotino takes it coast to coast. Can he convert? No. LMU gets back to 500 on the year. 53-51 win. Pacific, Santa Clara. Pacific looking to avoid a 3-game losing streak to the Broncos. Late in the first half, Santa Clara up 4. You got KJ Fagan. He's going to isolate, and he's going to hit the step-back jumper. Broncos up 6 at halftime. So let's get to the second half. Broncos are up 4. Matt Hauser, wide open. Fagan, another 3. He had 22 points. Broncos up 7. Under 20 to play. Tigers down 4. Anthony Towns missed the layup. Broncos get the rebound. Turn it over. TJ Wallace hits the 3, though. TJ, your southpaw. Tigers are down 1. Under 10 to go. Tigers down 3. They're moving it around. Jack Williams gets a great look. He can shoot it, too. He's short. Broncos survive and win it, 69-68. With only one more regular season game left, here's the conference standings. The Zags and Gales are still at the top. 2 games separates the two. BYU sitting in 3rd place, 6 games back. The Broncos are behind them at 4th. The Waves and Toreros are tied with 5 wins each, while the Pilots are on the bottom after losing 15 straight conference games. All right, let's switch gears a bit. Let's get to a segment called Program Pop Quiz. I sat down with our players and coaches to see just how well they knew the facts and history of their alma mater. This week, we have senior guard Ronnie Boyce and Coach Kyle Smith representing the San Francisco Dons. Let's take a look at how they did. All right, guys, it's time to compete. This is the program pop quiz. We're going to ask you guys 10 questions, 5 each, just about the program, which, Coach, that's a little tough because you're new, right? So we're going to do the best you can right here. We're going to start with you, Ronnie.
Okay.
Who's your team's all-time leading scorer, the all-time leading scorer in program history? So when you look up and you say, who do I need to pass? Who's number one?
It's Bill Russell, right?
No, it's so close, though. Same name, Bill.
Bill Cartwright.
Yes, it is. I'm giving it to you. Coach, most points scored in a single game. You can guess the points or you can say the player.
Chubby Cox.
No, it was Keith Jackson. He went 4. Give me a number.
49.
47. Close,
That's
Coach.
an 0 for 2.
What state was your coach born in?
Texas. Come on now.
You thought I was tricking you. Almost like.
He's from a suburb of Texas.
Now he's getting cocky. He's a little
Well, he's
nervous
from a
coming up.
I know he's from a suburb of Texas, Oklahoma.
Oh, what years did San Francisco win the NCAA tournament, Coach? It was back-to-back.
55, 56.
Coach, you guys are rolling right now. What's your mascot's name?
Don. That was easy.
You're rolling. Now he's calling us out. How many championships did former San Francisco star Bill Russell win?
It's either 11 or 13.
It's 13.
Pick one.
Let's go 13.
11. Dang it!
Ronnie!
What year did your basketball program start? It's a long time ago. It's not 100 years, but it's a lot.
1939.
Oh, close. 32. That's not bad, Ronnie.
Excellent effort.
That's all you want, Coach. All you can ask for.
I'll tell you exactly. That's all we got. Great attitude, great effort.
Coach, you guys are so much better than Gonzaga's doing.
Nah.
So you should be happy back then.
I'm sure it carries over on the court as well.
Coach, how many seats does your gym have, over or under 5,200? Are you over that or under that?
Well, we report 5,200, but I'm going to say under.
Over. All right, Ronnie, your final question.
Okay.
Sing me the first line of your school fight song.
Oh my God.
No chance.
No
chance.
kids, only one guy's got this.
They're
Only
love haters
BYU.
right now. I know it. I know it. You want me to take those?
Yeah, you got it.
Coach, if you can go first and second line, this counts as a
No,
win.
I think it's really important as an undergrad. You need to have this down. I really don't feel like I can do that. I think it's.
But you know what, the whole-
So you're just going to let us get it wrong?
The whole team's going to know it soon.
I just don't think it'd be right.
Yeah, well, but you know what? You did a lot better than I think you guys thought coming in.
Oh yeah.
You want to know why? You're winners. San Francisco. Winners. Here are the final standings after all 10 teams participated, and we thank you for your participation. The BYU Cougars, San Diego Toreros, and Pepperdine Waves hold strong to take the #1 spot in a 3-way tie. After missing 3 questions, the Lions and Gales are tied at 4th, while Portland and Pacific follow in 6th at 6 and 4. And on the bottom, with only 4 correct answers, are the Dons and the Bulldogs. All right, it is time to take a short break, but when we return, former NBA player Bill Cartwright will share what he has been up to lately and how his life has come full circle. All that and more next. Congratulations to Nigel Williams-Goss for being named the West Coast Conference Player of the Week. He had another big week helping top-ranked Gonzaga to a pair of wins to remain undefeated. This is the junior guard's 4th Player of the Week honor this season. Let's take a closer look at his numbers for that week against the Dons. He scored a game high of 30 points, 12 of those points coming from outside the arc. For the weekend, Williams-Goss totaled 48 points, shot 63% from the field, while adding 14 assists, 11 rebounds, and 5 steals. Good weekend for the junior. All right, let's have a little fun and get to know Nigel's teammate, Shemek Karnowski. The senior is averaging 12.5 points, just under 6 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. Kelly Tennant got to know more about the center off the floor in a quick rapid-fire session.
It's time for a rapid fire. Curry or Westbrook?
Westbrook.
LeBron or KD?
LeBron.
Instagram or Twitter?
Twitter.
Stories or Snap?
Snap.
What is your guilty pleasure?
Ice cream.
What kind?
Whatever.
Whatever was put in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, hamburger or burrito?
Burrito.
Hoosiers or He Got Game?
He got game.
Shark Week or Shark Tank?
Shark Tank.
Favorite protein?
Chicken.
Not protein.
Oh, what?
Pro-team.
Oh, pro team? Oh. Washington Wizards.
Not your fault. I thought she said protein as well. All right, former NBA player Bill Cartwright won 3 NBA championships as a player with the Chicago Bulls while winning 2 more titles as an assistant coach. But it all started at the University of San Francisco, where Cartwright received the WCC Player of the Year honor 3 times while in attendance. Now he is back on campus. Sarah Cazell has the story why.
This is your first time back on campus in a full-time capacity in just shy of 40 years. What has changed on campus since then?
Everything. Absolutely everything has changed on campus. And it's really remarkable. Like Lone Mountain here was really administrative. Now they have classes here, there's a cafeteria here, there's dorms in the back of Lone Mountain. So the whole campus is really taken on a new look. Extraordinarily modern, beautiful, great place to go to school and study. So I'm actually a little bit, as you can tell, jealous that I'm not going to school now, but it's just outstanding.
How have you changed since you left campus just shy of 40 years ago?
I've just had a great journey from here, from being here and graduating from here in 78, 79 to go into the NBA, to coaching in the NBA. It's just really given me an opportunity to use all the knowledge that I gathered here to go out and have an adventure. And this place really opens your mind to the world and the possibilities. So I've been busy.
And we'll talk about just how busy you've been at our next stop. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's go. So you're a busy bee. Tell me what's keeping you so busy on campus.
Well, the main thing is that I do a lot of different jobs as director of initiatives. So that involves fundraising, that involves community outreach, and that involves our alumni and getting them back to campus. And it's been awesome. It's been awesome. For example, the community outreach, we just had Jesse Jackson on our campus. We're really pleased with that. I had an opportunity to spend all day with him. So it's a lot of stuff, but it's really enjoyable.
You are obviously a legend in the basketball world. Many NBA rings, both as a player and a coach. You could be doing anything in basketball right now. Why did you decide to come back here?
I really like what they're trying to accomplish here on campus, and it re-emphasizes sports. And I just really wanted to be part of that process, because I really believe that USF can be one of the powerhouses in the country. We were #1 when I was here in school, and I believe we can get back there.
You just mentioned being #1 in the country. Right now, Gonzaga is #1 in the country, the first team from the WCC since USF to do it. Do you remember when you guys found out that you ranked number 1?
I do remember, and we came back from the tournament in Hawaii, and boom, we were the number 1 team in the country. Like, wow, we are? Really? It was a really exciting time for us, and we were just really continuing that level of excellence, and luckily we were able to do that.
Let's go to the gym where all of that went down. You ready to go?
Let's go to the gym where we should be all the time.
Deal. So as you said, lots of history here in the War Memorial Gym. As you can see, a couple trophies behind us from some national championships. Can you just tell me some of your favorite memories from this gym?
When we were here, we were really a competitive team, so we wanted to win every game. So every single game was important. Our rival team in our conference, in the WCAC, now the WCC, was Santa Clara. With my group in the 4 years that we had, they had no chance. We beat them every game.
Now you're back working here in the gym where your jersey is retired. How special is that for you to be able to be back where your basketball career really took off?
I'm just really happy to see the progress that the school has dedicated itself to achieving, and it's a lot of fun, and I think that we're really ready to make something special happen back here at USF.
Phenomenal job all year, Sarah. Here's a look at our Saturday slate of games for the conference. Coming up right after this, our game of the week as San Francisco takes on Pepperdine, then Portland travels south to San Diego. The Cougars go head-to-head with the number 1 team in the country, while the Lions face off with Pacific in Stockton. And then the Gales host the Broncos. All right, that'll do it from here in the studio. After the break, we are heading back to Malibu inside Firestone Fieldhouse, where Barry Tompkins and Casey Jacobson will have the call. Enjoy the game, everybody.
We welcome you back to the West Coast Conference Game of the Week. This is the pregame show presented by Geico, and we are at Malibu. And a picture like that just eats your heart out to the rest of the United States right now. We're in the midst of a bitter winter, although I hear it's fairly warm back in New York. We got a ball game coming up here. Let's take a look at the West Coast Conference standings right now. And Casey, of course, it's Gonzaga is just not only leading the conference, leading the world.
Yeah, Gonzaga and everybody else 29-0, pretty impressive. But how about the season that St. Mary's has had? BYU's been a little bit disappointing, but they're trying to finish strong because to me they can play with anybody on any given night. And San Francisco still has a lot to play for.
They do have a lot to play for. Everything is about positioning now, although their positioning, easy for me, seems pretty solid. I'm Barry. That's Casey. Let's talk about the X factors in this game.
Yeah, we're going to start with USF and Chase Foster. He's a 6'5 junior. He's from Aurora, Colorado. And Barry, he's been playing pretty well lately. He's scored in double figures in 3 of his last 4 games. He's a guy that can shoot the 3, but he's also tough and can get to the rim. He comes off the bench for the Dons, but he's a veteran leader for this team, and they're going to need him today if they want to get a win here at Firestone Fieldhouse. For Pepperdine, I'm going with Elijah Lee. He's a 5'10 freshman point guard. And as Jeremy Major is getting set to graduate and move on here at senior day, Elijah is the future of this Waves program. He's not a big-time scorer, but in WCC play, Barry, he's actually tied for the team lead in assists with Jeremy Major.
Yeah, been a really tough season for Marty Wilson and the Pepperdine Waves. They have just been decimated with injuries, and such is the case today, too. He will be starting a senior. As a matter of fact, he'll be starting 2 walk-ons. That's the way it's been for Marty Wilson and the Waves. We'll see if they can summon something up in this last home game of the regular season, headed into the West Coast Conference Tournament. We're coming back